Yeah, what's going on, everybody? What's going on? What's going on? Welcome, welcome. I know it's on the late tip. I got to get up out of here, but for some reason or another, I thought about it while I was doing my studies for tomorrow and stuff like that. I said, yo, let me come on, you know what I'm saying? And let me just kill two birds with one stone. You know what I'm saying? I'm actually live off of Twitch and I'm live off of No Niche, and I don't know which one I want to take a look at. And so I just got the notification that Twitch just hit me up, and also okay, yeah, I see you. I see you. What's up? What's up? You know what I'm saying? Come on in, come on in. You know what I'm saying? Let me know exactly where you're, you know what I'm saying, you're coming in from. I'm gonna put the prompter on because I know it's still Friday. And even though it's Friday, I do know that people are still up, rather you know it or not. I got to get up out of here. I'm not supposed to do this, but I decided let me do it anyway, y'all, because I wanted to just come on here to help somebody. And I've been getting so many questions in Elevate Circle. You do know my name is Donald. For those of you who will meet me for the first time, I'm the CEO and founder of the Elevate Circle, where we're not helping people feel better, but we're helping people become better at feeling, you know. And sometimes there are a lot of people who've been messed, like really fighting with existential anxiety, those of them who are overthinkers, you know what I'm saying, people who talk themselves out of the best opportunities because they felt like, should I do it, should I not? And they think about the fear behind it, they think about that behind it. And so at the end of the day, I want to help you out, you know. And I want you to, there's somebody, people call me in real time, and it's all good, y'all, you know. And so I also got something from Elevate Circle, and I'm looking at people now. What's up, y'all? What's up? What's up? All right, but nonetheless, so yeah, so I'm happy to see you all, and I'm happy that you all are here with me. You know what I'm saying? And I want to talk about, and I think y'all can see the description. I'm not too sure if you can see the tagline or you can see um, the title of this video. Hopefully you can see the title of the video. Um, got it. I got it. Okay, give me a second, y'all. I know I'm doing this in real time. You know what I'm saying? But I hope you're able to see the title of the video today is called, you know, let them have the last word. And a lot of times, you know, people, they're not too mature in that particular area, you know, to you know, give people the last word. Let me ask you a question. I would love to know what you think about it, and I would love to know how you feel about it. You know, how do you feel about having the last word or allowing for other people to actually have the last word? You feel what I'm saying? Um, it's you have to have a mature mind, and this is what we will really help people develop in our Elevate Circle. By the way, let me know what you're drinking tonight. If you are, and I don't mean alcohol. I mean I'm drinking, you know, Pepsi tonight. You know what I'm saying? Get off me, because I know if anybody who know Donald, you know I love me some Pepsi. You feel me? You feel me? So don't be judging me. Get off me. You feel me? I see two people are in. Let me know exactly where you're coming from. I see somebody from Twitter. I see somebody from YouTube. What's up, y'all? By the way, I don't drink the whole bottle in one night. I just sometimes get thirsty when I am talking. So let's take a look at this, you know, and let's ask ourselves this one question. I want to ask you this. Why do people need the last word? You know what I'm saying? Not everybody need the last word. You feel what I'm saying? Because whether you know it or not, people, they don't chase, you know, the last word really to be talking. You know, they're really chasing the last word so that they can get rid of and end the discomfort that they're experiencing on the inside. You know, so conversations aren't happening at this point, you know, with them and anybody else, but it's happening with themselves, you know. And so I'm gonna tell you, having maturity is very, very important. To be a mature person is to have that inner, you know, that inner strength, that inner maturity. It's to where you don't have to have people, you know, around. You don't have to worry about, oh, what they're disputing you about. You know, you look at people on First Take, you look at people who are on sports channels and stuff like that, or boxing channels. You look at people who look at sports and they talk about the Yankees or talk about the Red Sox or the opposing team. You're looking at the Knicks now, who are the NBA champions. Come on, y'all, stop playing. Come on, New York. Um, you know, and you're looking at the San Antonio Spurs and stuff like that. You know, obviously Wemby have become, you know, the new Trey Young and all of that, whatever the case would be. but people talk all the time. They're talking about the trades, talking about what's going to happen, talking about what might happen and stuff like that. They debate on these shows, you know. But one thing I would admire, you know, about any one of them and anybody who's in Elevate Circle, anybody who love to join Elevate Circle, I want you to take a look at the framework that they use, you know. Understand that the debate is not only for content, as Constantine and DDG and all of them talk about, but the debate is just a debate. You know, they leave everything right there at the table. Whoever believes whatever they believe, it doesn't take away from their friendship. It doesn't take away from their value. It doesn't take away from their identity. You know, it just allows for people to just express what they feel. You get what I'm saying? You know, and so sometimes when they get into a heated discussion about what they feel about the truth was, they'll pull up and they'll pull out all of what it is that they know, the knowledge, but they know at the end of the day, they're not enemies. Once they leave the table because the result is the result. It's not an identity. And sometimes you have Stephen A. go, look, I said my part. Or you have whoever else, Max Kellerman, said, or Doggy, whoever it is at First Take. All right, they said their part, they said their piece. Sometimes you got to be happy with just saying your piece and leaving it on the table. You know, if I could be relevant to some of the people or some of the younger, you know, generation, maybe some people they're on drill music, right? But I've come up with Jay-Z and Nas and Dallas Effects and, you know, Mobb Deep and all of them. I come up with them. You get what I'm saying? And so even though, you know, Nas and Jay-Z had like record beef, and thank God it was only on album, you know, Jay-Z did it like this. He came out with the you know, Takeover. And then Nas came back with Ether, you know, but Jay-Z didn't have to come back after Ether because everything that he wanted to say was in the Takeover. In other words, Nas could have had the last word. Some people might argue because he had the last word, oh, he beat Jay-Z. Some people might say, well, Jay-Z said what he had to say, and if you listen to it, he creamed Nas. Whatever. The fact of the matter is, both of them had to say what they wanted to say, and they left it on the table. You feel what I'm saying? Because they understood that anything else after that is no longer an argument or no longer beef between them two, but they can find themselves rhyming to themselves or beefing with themselves. You know the reason why there's some people who can't help but to have the last word? It's because of this thing right here. It's called the replay loop. A lot of people are getting anxiety and they're stressed out because of the replay loop, you know? It's like this. You found out somebody said something. Oh boy. And I feel, when I'm talking about this, makes me feel immature altogether because like I know nothing about this language, but I do know much about the action, me living in the Rhetoric projects, because sometimes you can come across petty stuff, you know? But think about it. Somebody said something, you know, and then now you leave, you know what I'm saying? 3 hours later, you're like, you know what? Next time I see them, I'm going to tell them this. You know what I mean? You know? And then you come back and you tell them and you walk away again. Then tomorrow comes and you're like, yo, you know what? I should have mentioned this too. I didn't get a chance to say X, Y, and Z because they had me all tight, you know? And then before you know it, a week later go by, you don't get a chance to see them. And all of a sudden in your mind, you're like, and they're wrong. They wrong for saying they're wrong. But you know what the problem is? The problem is not the fact that they're wrong. The problem is that you kept having the replay in your mind and it became your own prison. And now they got in you. And even if you didn't want to show that they got the best of you, they got in you, you know, pause for all of you young people and you YNs. God, I don't even believe I even said that, you know, but because they got inside your emotions, now all of a sudden, you know, you're in prison. And now this is the reason why you have people who keep grudges for a long time because they're stuck in the replay loop. That's where they are, stuck. And every time that they see you, that's the only thing that they think about. Meanwhile, you sleep. Meanwhile, you ate. Meanwhile, you want chill. Meanwhile, you like, I'm goody, you know? But they still tight with you because they couldn't get, here we go, their last word in, you know? So sometimes people, the reason why they have this loop is because of this one thing. They have a need to be understood. You know, many people aren't really trying to just win. They're really trying to finally feel understood. And that's okay. But the problem is that some people are so committed to misunderstanding you, they're going to stick with their own story. So no explanation, no changes. It doesn't change anybody being committed to their own story. So not everyone deserves another explanation, if you know what I mean. You know, it's okay. But listen, why who cares? You know, if you don't understand me and if people don't understand you, they're gonna stay committed to not understanding you. And in fact, it's their responsibility, it's their objective to not understand you, maybe because they don't like you. And even what you're saying, even if you're saying the truth, they won't like you, they won't care. And they want to dominate the conversation so that they can feel better at not wanting to sound like that they're understanding you. You could dead stop and say, you know what? You're right. And because they don't want to agree with you and they don't want to side with you, they would do everything that they can. You feel what I'm saying? Just to disagree with you in a nutshell. You feel what I'm saying? So you know what you do? Here's what you do in a nutshell. If they don't want to agree with you, this is the smartest thing you could ever do. Let them keep their version of the story. Because sometimes the healthiest sentence you can say to yourself is that they are allowed to believe that. Whatever they are allowed to believe, they have the permission to do it because they are their own person and they're their own adult, you know? So listen, you don't have to correct people. Let them believe that. And not because they are correct. You know, you don't have to just they're dead wrong. It can be dead wrong. But let them believe it. Let them believe it. Let them have that last word, not because they're correct, but because you're at peace. And your peace does not depend on somebody else being corrected, you know, and somebody else's opinion being corrected at the same time as well. Let them have their version of the story. That was the objective before they even started the conversation. You ever had somebody who was like, yeah, I just want to tell you X, Y, and Z. And even though they're telling you about what the other person said, you're like, I'm not, okay, fine. Always remember this, y'all. You know, when somebody come and tell you something about what people say, there's always two sides to a story. And never, even if it's your best friend, you know what I'm saying? Never take for granted that people can't embellish what the truth is. Even if it's somebody that's in your circle, never take for granted that a person cannot embellish what they said. Sometimes when people come to you to say they said, it's really one person. It's really actually them. You know, even if there are other people who are involved. Understand what I'm saying? You know? So yeah, so let them keep their version of the story. You know what I'm saying? And here's the deal. And this is the real reason why you ought not to ever have to respond to people, you know? And I love this part. And that is every response is an investment. And that's why you have to choose your battles. Every response is an investment. You know, every reply costs you something. You know what it costs? It costs your attention. It costs your energy. It costs your peace, mental bandwidth. You know what I'm saying? Ask yourself this the next time that you hear somebody who's saying something who don't want to agree with you and this, that, and the other, and they're looking for you to respond. Is this conversation paying me back? That's all you need to ask yourself. Is it paying me back anything? I'll never forget. Yeah, I thought about this too. And that's why I did it, because it was inspired out of a conversation that I did have. I remember the time that you know, I did a short film. It's called Betrayal. And if you go on the DF Films, I'm not trying to promote it, but I am trying to promote it. You know, you go on the DF Films and look under Betray. By the way, I took out the A on purpose. It's really Betray. When we do the feature film off of that, you'll see a red circle around the word try. And that they actually prevailed. But here's the deal. I'll never forget the time that my friend looked at a short scene that I've done. I called it the short film. And I sent it to him. And he was like, I don't like the short film because the person that had the suit on who was eating out of a container. I was like, yeah, but here's the deal. Every movie will go by the script. And if it doesn't go by the script, and if it doesn't go by to the T, then you have not done the movie any justice. He's like, yeah, but I thought that he should have fine china eating that food and this, that, and the other. This is okay, but that's the reason why he told me he didn't like it. I'm like, you hater. You don't like it because of it, because of what's actually in the script that's correct. But here's the deal. I played with him when I called him a hater. He's not really a hater. I don't hope. But anyway, here's the deal. If I was someone who was trying to prove that the movie is good, because I think that the 1.2 thousand people who did like it and the several people who did comment under it outweigh his one little like. You feel what I'm saying? But here's the deal. And I'm not taking anything away from him. I'm only utilizing this as an example. I have never seen, an investment, when you reply to somebody, you're replying and you're investing your reply into somebody that's credible. I told him, I says, listen, here's the deal. You can cook food to the fullest. When it comes down to cooking, unbeatable. The man is unmatched. I am sorry. My bro can burn. You feel me? So if I made a plate of food and the spaghetti maybe had too much salt or had too much pepper, or I thought it was something that was perfect and he had a bowl, he have the right to critique it. And he won't have that much right because I'm my own person, right? And at the same time, if I like it and I'm making it for me, I don't give a darn if you like it or not. I like it. You feel me? It's like if somebody say, I don't like the fact you wore a white t-shirt for this program. Guess what? Champ, I bought it for me. I don't care about what you think. You're not wearing it for a purpose because I bought it for me. So at the end of the day, he's credible about my plate. He can critique that and he can become a critic of that. But when it comes down to movies, I'm like, my boy, I never saw your movie at all. I've never seen you pick up a camera to subjects to say sound speeding, camera rolling, action. I had never seen you go to any type of table read. I don't know you to understand aperture or cinematic movement or lighting. I don't know if you know anything about an ND filter, champ. Do you know anything about a Sennheiser microphone or a Rode microphone, which is what I'm wearing now? So at the end of the day, you have to choose your battles, because if somebody's coming at you to say what they don't like about you and they're not in your lane or on your level about what it is that they complain that they don't like about, ask yourself this question: are they credible? Because if you're not credible, we're not investing our conversation in that individual. You feel what I'm saying? And that's exactly what it is. And I'm going to tell you, here's the next level though. After that, silence is an emotional strength. You see, people make mistakes about silence. They take silence to be weakness, when many times silence is the evidence of emotional maturity. People are not emotional mature. They just got, oh my God. And I'm sorry, y'all, but I think I'm credible to say this because I am African American. Most African Americans where I'm from, they don't know nothing about silent emotional strength. They know nothing about that. They have to express themselves and get it out their system. And sometimes it come out in a way where it would cost them their freedom. And y'all know what I mean when I say that. You feel me? It's evident when you have listen, when you have a silent emotional strength, it is emotional maturity. And some people will try to talk you down and be like, no, this, that, and the other. You know what I've learned? Let me tell you what I learned. I want to look at you when I say this. I'm done with trying to be louder than you. Because here's the deal. I've learned this one thing. The loudest person is the weakest person. So watch a person who's always loud. They're emotional. They're in emotional distress. High blood pressure go up. You know what I'm saying? The heart rate go up. You know what I'm saying? They are stressed out, have anxiety movements, talking to themselves. Meanwhile, you're like, I just want to have my Pepsi. I'm sorry. And you trying to calm them down. Yo, champ, calm down. Yo, sis, calm down. You good. Relax. What's wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? Be easy. Be healed. You know what I'm saying? And when you don't match their energy, they get even extra tight. Because here's the deal. Children, they react. But secure adults, they choose. So self-control speaks louder than a comeback. It creams people. They get tight. Like, and so you know what I do for sometimes I want when I have some of my people and I go back and forth with my bro, and you know what I'm talking about. Sometimes we go back and forth, I just agree. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. Knowing that they wrong. Because I know that they need more validation than I do. Because I'm more, I would like to deem myself to be more mature in that particular area. I'm more stronger. And I think maybe that's the reason I'm a pastor, because certain things don't get me so upset to the point that people might think that I don't even care. When I have feelings, I do care. And don't forget, having emotional strength and inner strength, it is hard. And this is the reason why, because your brain need closure. Most people who go through what they go through, their brain need closure. That's the reason why they can't allow for people to have the last word. Their brain need closure. Yo, I got to get out of here. You know what I'm saying? Their brain need closure. And so they have to explain themselves, and they feel like this. If I explain myself, then I feel better. And usually the more and more you try to explain yourself by trying to get the last word from somebody, you really don't feel good about yourself. And in fact, the conversation, it goes longer. It goes longer because you're trying to have the last word. Sometimes when you have that inner strength and you're secure about who you are, you don't need to have the last word. You know what else is crazy? And that's why it's hard for some people, because they feel that they have to overly explain themselves. But here's another thing too. Security don't need witnesses. Have you ever seen somebody, in the long run, they just gotta say something, or they gotta say, they gotta have the last. People who need witnesses, they need more confirmation or agreement. But people who are more mature and they don't need to have the last word, you know what they seek after? Alignment. So while other people are looking for agreement, you're just looking to align. And that's the difference. Your confidence cannot depend on anyone and their conclusion. You're trying to look for conclusion. You're trying to, come on, man. You're trying to look at their conclusion. You're trying to have them to agree with you. Who cares? Like, all right, my dude, you got it. All right. Because when you're secure, you could know that they're dead wrong. You know what I'm saying? And you can still just go on with your life. You feel me? Because you've learned how not to allow for your feelings to tell you what to believe. Rather, you learn how to command your feelings like, yo, they dead wrong. You know what I'm saying? And a millionaire don't have to come down from his penthouse. I want to look at you when I say this. A millionaire don't have to come down to his penthouse to say I'm a millionaire. He already know he is. If somebody else trying to disagree to say, oh, you're not this, you're not that. It's like somebody will say, yo, you ain't wearing a white shirt. Okay, buddy. You got it, buddy. You got it, champ. You know it's a white shirt. You feel secure about you not having to agree with them or convince them it's a white shirt. So people who need the last word, they need a crowd. They need witnesses. They need agreement because that's the only way that they feel better about themselves. You feel what I'm saying? Your confidence cannot depend on someone else's conclusion. It cannot depend on somebody else's conclusion. You feel what I'm saying? Yo, if you're getting value, yo, do me a favor. Leave me a comment. Somebody give me a thumbs up. Somebody say something. Let me know where you tuning in from. Watch this, everybody. And this, when you come through all of these points, this is what you normally have. Real freedom. Some people be capping. They be like, yo, I'm free. I'm good. How about like the relationship? You know what I'm saying? You had a relationship with Shorty. You know what I'm saying? Or you had a relationship with you know what I'm saying? Females had a relationship with the dude. And all of a sudden, they decided to leave. And you like, I didn't need them anyway. They wasn't this. They wasn't that. Dude, let me tell you something. Bro, buddy, you capping. I'm going to tell you the reason why. Because here's the deal. If she wasn't all that, you wouldn't have been with her in the first place. I got to get out of here. It's almost 12 o'clock and I got church tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? You would not be with them in the first place. But real freedom, you want to know what real freedom is? Real freedom isn't making everybody understand you. You know what real freedom is? Real freedom is being able to sleep well while other people never do. That's what it is. And that's what you call emotional independence. That's real freedom. People like, I'm good now, I'm good. Meanwhile, every conversation that everybody run into, when people run into you, you still talking about it. Or you're still talking about the same situation. You're still talking about the same. It's been 3 weeks. It's been 4 months. It's been a whole year. And you're still bringing up the same situation. Dogs, sis, get over it. It's over. Be free. Like, free your mind. You feel what I'm saying? Because that's what real freedom is. Emotional independence. You don't need a crowd. You don't need agreement. You don't need witnesses. You don't need to be loud. You don't have to dominate the conversation. Let them have the last word, because that is where you get the best. You live your best life, not trying, you know what I'm saying, to, have the last word. I promise you that. You feel me? So listen, I want to give you an Elevate Circle exercise. This is what we do in Elevate Circle. The next time you have a challenge, or you have a disagreement, or you have something that, that's opposing somebody else, or whatever the case be, ask yourself, I want you to ask yourself, am I responding to them, or am I responding to the anxiety they left in my mind? That's the question. Am I responding to them, or am I responding to my real feel about what they did to me? Because here's the deal. This is the biggest question I want to ask you. Oh my God. Ask yourself this real question, y'all. If they didn't agree with you, would you still be okay with that? Because everybody got an opinion. And there you go losing sleep because of what somebody said, or because somebody had the last word, or because somebody said the last thing. You feel what I'm saying? Will you still be okay if they did not agree with you is the question. Because if your answer is yes, guess what? You're healing. I promise you. You have obtained spiritual and or emotional and mental maturity. Congratulations. So listen, let me tell you something. I'm the CEO and founder of the Elevate Circle. We're not here to help people feel better. We're here to help people become better at feeling. Here's what I'm telling you. The strong mind is my conclusion. The strong mind isn't the one that always have the perfect response. It's the one that no longer need one. If you no longer need a response, you know what I'm saying? If you no longer care about nobody's response, you are that person. You're him, you're her. And everybody is ignoring this topic because it's having the last word for some people that's eating up and destroying their lives. It's not financial. It's not family. It's not your job. It's not your career. It's not your future that you haven't seen yet. It's you who still need a response. So listen, like I said, I'm the founder and the CEO of Elevate Circle. We're not here to help you feel better. We're here to help you become better at feeling. You feel me? So that you can have better emotional control. If you are interested, if you're someone who overthink, if you're someone who still need emotional control, if you're someone who, if somebody enter the room, you still get upset, you still get pissed off, and they don't even say nothing to you, but yet they took your energy, yo, you need to join this family who's been freeing their mind. You know what I'm saying? We have a 5-step system that we go by, that it's not a fly-by-night system, and it takes some time for you to go through the system so that you can find yourself, understand attachment files, knowing how to get through. Even if you've gone through a relationship, this is for you. If you're a single person, it's for you. If you've gone through losing a job, it's for you. And all of them talked about you after you left, even the ones who claimed that they were cool with you, this is for you. You know what I'm saying? I will leave the link in the description. If you just, leave the description or underneath your comment and say, yo, D, I need this. You know what I'm saying? If you're on Twitch right now and you're like, yo, this is for me, I want to join that community. I want to see what it's about. And listen, if you feel that the free content right here that I give you is that much great and it's helping you, don't come into the community. But I guarantee you, you don't know what you're missing. You feel me? You're getting more than just a teaching. We have so much in there, God. You know what I'm saying? We have so much in there. And in fact, I want to, let me see if I can find this for you real quick. Before I land the plane, want to leave you some people who are in our Elevate Circle. Here we go, right here. I want to leave you some people and what they're saying in our Elevate Circle. Take a look at this. All right. Open this up, and can I open this? Oh, okay, there we go. Take a look.
Hi, my Elevate family. I just want to take this opportunity and let you guys know why you should join Elevate Circle. I have been fortunate to meet Donald through work, and I am telling you, that's like my brother from another mother. And then he introduced me to this wonderful platform where I could talk about everything and anything. And most especially, what I appreciate the most is the live broadcast where we could just come, communicate, talk as a family, vent, get it off our chest. And I feel like for me, it's more of a free zone, judgment free zone, a comfort zone where I could just pour it all out there, have others who feel the way that I feel just interacts with me, the love, the support. Like, it's a strong community overall. You won't regret joining it. I am blessed and I'm fortunate to have joined this platform, and I just want to take the opportunity just to shout out to my man Donald, my brother from another mother, just to say thank you, and much love and respect. Thanks, bro. I appreciate everything that you're doing for us and this community, and I want you to just continue to do what you're doing and just be blessed. All right? Love you. Mwah.
If you've been going through it or having some anxious thoughts, join the Elevate family. Come on here, grab some tips, watch some videos. It's not overwhelming. It's very easy to follow and understand. Join the Elevate family and see how it can help you.
Hey everyone, my name is Grace. Join Elevate. You guys won't regret it. Thank you so much, Donald, for this program. You are wonderful, you are appreciated, and you are loved.
Join the wonderful Elevate Circle community featuring the 5-step Elevate system and reclaim your freedom. You'll thank me later.
Yeah, so listen, if you want to join the Elevate Circle, you can actually email me right here, Manifest Your Thoughts. I'm sorry about right here. We go manifestthoughts888@gmail.com. Manifestthoughts888@gmail.com. You feel what I'm saying? Let me know that you wanted, to get the link and stuff like that. I will definitely, it is a community that you would love. I promise you that. It's a community of peace of mind, and I'm sure that you would love it. Listen, y'all, I got to get out of here. So listen, I hope that you've enjoyed this presentation. Let me know if you're on YouTube with No Need. Let me know if you're on Twitch. You know what I'm saying? What's up, y'all? What's up? What's up? Glad to see y'all. Have a wonderful night. I got church tomorrow, and I will see y'all very, very soon. Don't forget, 888 Manifest Your Thoughts 888@gmail.com. Or please leave in the comments. I will check the comments. I promise you that.